Hello, Internet. Armetheus here from Army's Cantina, back with another knife review. This one is on the Benchmade Model 710 McHenry&Williams design. So this knife, as anybody who may be a knife fan would know, is the first design from Benchmade to feature the access lock here. You may remember I touched on it briefly in my last review there, but we'll get to that in a minute. Some quick specs here on this. The blade length is 3.9 inches, thickness of 0.115, so not overly thick, but it's good for this blade, I think. Closed is 4.9 inches, so about a inch longer than the blade overall, 8.8 inches, with a carry weight of 4.5 ounces. So, all in all, very good package from these guys. Where do we begin here? Let's start talking about the handle. The handle here is a G10, machine G10. It's got kind of a medium fine texture, although that may be. This knife is I've had it for a couple of years. You can tell the clip's kind of beat up there. It's so it's older, so it was probably more grippy when I first got it. I honestly don't remember. It's been a while, but it's got some grooves here, date and traction and everything. Ergonomics are pretty good. It's not, nothing fancy. It's pretty standard shape here, but very comfortable. I got, kind of medium-large hands here, so, but it fits very comfortably in that. You got enough kind of sticking out the end. The thumb ramp here with some jimping on it. Jimping's alright. Unfortunately, it's kind of hidden behind the liners here, as you can see, so, I mean, it works, but I think it'd be more effective if it was raised up above that a little bit. Got a, plastic backspacer here. Skeletonized steel liners, you can see in there. So, and the strength there was helping to reduce the weight, and I mean 4.5 ounces for this knife is, I mean, that's good. This is a big knife. This is about as big a folder as I'll carry. Any bigger than that, it gets awkward. And even this, a lot of people don't care too much for it, because it's big. Look at that. But I like big folders. I prefer them myself. It's just my preference. So, I mean, like I said, I get kind of larger hands, so makes it easier for me. Like I said, a lot of people prefer small just because they're easier to carry. Actually, another popular one I happen to have in my pocket at this point is Spyderco Dragonfly, which, as you can see, is quite a bit smaller than this one. So this is actually a size a lot of people will prefer, just because it's, it's light and small. They're not asking it to do a whole lot, so they don't need something huge. They're not going to be taking on giant cutting tasks with that, as some people might. So, anyways, sorry about the tangent. I'll be reviewing this knife later at some point. Beautiful knife. Anyways, so G10 handles, skeletonized liners. You get two-way reversible pocket clip here for left or right tip-up only. Pocket clip's nice. It's comfortable. It holds tight enough. Not super tight, but I mean, it's kind of a heavy knife, so I don't think you're going to have an issue with it. It was black coated at one time. You can see it's kind of beat up here. The finish is rubbing off. But it is a couple of years old, so that's, that's not bad for a couple of years old, I guess, because they can be kind of hard on my knives. So, so that's good there. The lock, as I've mentioned in a previous review here, this is the access lock. This is actually the first folder Benchmade ever made to feature this. It's been around, quite some time. I know it got some sort of award in 1999, so it's pretty old. 14 years at least. But I mean, that's saying something. It's been around, been in production for 14 years, and you know, they haven't changed it at all, as far as I could tell. So that's, you know, that's saying something. But anyway, so the access lock here is basically just a steel pin on a couple of springs that will push itself behind the tang here to hold the knife open. And hold it, it does. This blade's not going anywhere. I was reading somewhere, I think it withstands like 1,000 pounds of pressure before it fails. And I mean, if you can produce 1,000 pounds of pressure against your knife, you're doing something wrong. There should never be that much force on a knife. They're not designed for that. But I suppose in theory you could on this one, and the lock wouldn't fail. You might break the blade or the handle or something, but the lock would stay intact. So that's something. And it also makes opening and closing it. You can do it a couple of ways. You can use the old thumb stud there, as most people would do, or you kind of pull back on the lock here. I wonder if I can do this with a tripod here. Pull back on the lock and kind of flick the blade out. Yeah, I can't do it with the tripod sitting here, but hold on. Nope, not gonna happen. All right. Anyways, if you pull back, it releases there's kind of some tension on the back of the blade there, so it releases that, and you're able to flick it out. Yeah, I'm just embarrassing myself now. But the same thing can be done to close it, which I'm better at because it's less of a strange motion there in front of the tripod. But so pull that back, hit the tripod, and close it. So a lot of people like that. It makes for easy one-hand operation, which is good. So that's that. That's the lock. This is many people. This is their favorite locking mechanism, and can't say I blame them for that. It works really well. It's easy to operate. The springs aren't so strong that you have trouble, operating it, but more than strong enough to keep that lock securely in place. It's not going to move anywhere on you. So very well done. It's been around for a number of years. Hasn't changed at all. The only change they made, it's not really so much a change as it is an addition. They have a spring-assisted version featuring the access lock, which I don't have any knives with that. But I've heard good things about it. So it'll lock up just like a regular access lock. Just got the addition of a spring assist mechanism, which is neat. Anyways, so that's the lock. Like I said, everybody loves it. It's a wonderful lock. You can't really beat it. Moving on here to the blade. This here, as I said, is a 3.9-inch kind of a recurve clip point we got going on here. You see the recurve in the blade, and then it's got a little swedge ground out there for weight. D2 tool steel on this one. This is one of actually I think the first knife I got to feature the D2, which is a stainless, semi-stainless tool that's made for industrial applications and stuff, but they've modified it to for knives. And it's a good steel. It holds an edge really well. Little brittle on occasion. You have to be careful of chipping your edges and stuff. You might be able to see I kind of damaged the tip a little bit there. So not as sharp as it once was on the tip here. But all in all, it's a good steel. Like I said, it holds an edge really well. It'll hold it for a good long while. Not overly difficult to sharpen. Although this is a little bit because of the recurve. They're kind of, it's awkward. But it's fair corrosion resistance. It's not wonderful. So, usually, as you should do with all your knives, keep a light oil coating on it, or silicone or something. Kind of help with that. But it's hollow ground, I believe. Feels hollow ground. Not 100% sure on that though. I apologize. But it cuts really well. Like I said, it's got the recurve here, which helps to gather material kind of up in this area when you're cutting it, and hold it there. And then off here with the belly and the sweep up for, you know, kind of slicing tests like skinning or whatever, which is nice. So all in all, just, I mean, this thing's it's a great knife. It's you know, it's light enough for its size, balanced really well. Everything's just put together phenomenally. I mean, it's a Benchmade. It's kind of what they do. Benchmade makes wonderful knives. This one happens to be a blue class. Benchmade has 3 classes. They get the gold, blue, and black. Gold is more upscale, kind of collector's edition type knives, and the price reflects that, believe me. And the blue class here is kind of their, you know, everyman kind of working knife. So a lot of good designs in there, and most of their knives happen to be of the blue class. And then the black class is knives that are designed and geared more towards military, law enforcement, that sort of thing. Made more for more as weapons, I think, than tools, really. But obviously can still be used as tools, as a knife is a tool. And a very good one at that. I use my knives like every day, so I will not let you tell me that a knife is a weapon. It can be used as one, but that is not its primary function. Its primary function is as a tool to aid us in our everyday lives, you know, cutting food, rope, boxes, what have you. But anyways, so yeah, Model 710 from Benchmade. You cannot go wrong with this knife. It is phenomenal. I've never heard anybody say anything bad about it. Some people may not care for the size, but that's not really, I mean, that's more personal preference, really. But as a functioning tool, they've done everything just flawlessly. Everything is just, it's put together well, it stays together well, it all functions as it should. Blade centering is spot on there, as you can see. Just an amazing knife. I don't have anything bad to say about it, other than the fact that I apparently can't open it using the, I kind of half got it that time. Opening it with the access lock in front of a tripod. But, well, that makes me happy. Anyways, Model 710, Benchmade, can't go wrong. Price is a little higher, probably between 100 and 150, depending on where you do your knife shopping. But if you confront it, it's definitely worth the money, every penny of it. So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Once again, you know, questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section, and I'll get to you when I can. Thanks for watching. Armesius out.